Welcome to 5 Minutes to Go. 5 Minutes to Go is a video lesson that's 5 minutes long that's designed to help you to grow in Christ, to grow in your relationship with Him, to learn how to love Him better and to follow Him, to just in general to learn about Him. Today we're talking about the subject of love. Mark chapter 12 is where we're looking, and in verse 29 through 31 it says, Jesus replied, "The most important commandment is this: listen, O Israel, the Lord your God is the one and only Lord. You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is equally important: love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these." Today, we want to talk about what it means to love the Lord your God with all that you are. So, how do we do that? What does it look like? Well, we got to encompass all of who we are: our heart, our mind, our soul, and our strength. When we learn to love God that way, man, we're giving Him our all. So first, what does it mean to love the Lord with all of your heart? To love the Lord with all your heart means to love Him with all of your passion and all of your compassion. Our heart, it's the thing that gives us feeling, that gives us emotion. It's the part of us, the Bible calls it our wellspring of life. Your heart is just where you get excited about things. You feel it from the heart. Your heart is where your heart breaks when you see sad things go on you. Your heart, it's the exciting, the emotional part of who you are. So to love the Lord with all of your heart means that you're excited about Him. You're passionate about Him. And when you see things that aren't right, you show compassion about them, wishing that a lost world would know a loving God. To love the Lord with all of your heart is to love Him with your passion. Now, second, let's talk about loving the Lord with all of your soul. What does it mean to love the Lord with all your soul? Your soul is your personality. It's the person that God created you distinctly to be. It's your spirit. It's the part of you that's going to live on for eternity. It's not this flesh. It's not the things on the outside. Your soul. It's who you will always be for now to eternity. It's the distinct person God created you to be. It's your personality. It's what makes you different from everyone else. It's your eternal being. You know, there's certain things about you that can only be met by their creator. There's things like food that will meet your physical needs, but your spirit and your soul, that is something that belongs to God, and that you can only connect with God in those ways. So as we love the Lord with all of our soul, it's making sure that who we are, our very inner being, is connected to God. And as our unique individual, we're using that to express our love toward God. All right, now third, what does it mean to love the Lord with all of your mind? To love Him with all of your mind, to love Him with all of your intelligence, to love Him with all of your thinking, to love Him with your intellect. You know, when we think about loving the Lord, it's not all just an emotional experience. Loving the Lord with all of our mind means that we set our mind to it, that we have a desire to know God and to understand Him. It's not all about an emotional experience. We want that emotional experience. We love Him with all of our emotion, with all of our heart, with all of our passion, but we love Him with all of our mind as well. So we intellectually engage in understanding who God is. And so we learn about Him. We study His Word. We grow in Him. We think about His attributes. We love Him with our intelligence. Some people think that only a fool could believe in God. Well, God says, only a fool says in his heart, there is no God. When we begin to really think about who God is and understand Him, we realize that it makes intelligent sense to believe in the God of the universe. And now let's talk about loving the Lord with all of our strength, or with all your muscle, or with all of your ability or your effort. You know, when we talk about loving the Lord with all of our strength, with all of our effort or all of our muscle. You know what? Sometimes loving the Lord is hard work. Sometimes serving the Lord is hard work. You know what? Sometimes it requires energy. It requires muscle. It requires some hard work. Do you love the Lord your God just intellectually, or do you actually put some muscle into it? Do you love him with all your strength? Do you put all of the effort that you have into loving him, into pursuing him? Or do you put more effort into the TV shows that you watch, or the music that you download, or checking your Instagram or your Facebook page? Do you put more muscle? Do you put more energy? Do you put more time into your relationship with God? Or do you put it into other things? If we're going to understand what really loving God is, then we say, I'm going to put some muscle into it. I'm going to put some time into it. I'm going to put some energy into it. I'm going to put all of myself into it. I'm going to love the Lord with all of my heart, with all of my soul, with all of my mind, and with all of my strength.